Greetings, I'm Caffeine Range and welcome back to the Sunday Sampler. This week we're taking a look at Anarcute. This is going to be an odd one. This is a Pikmin style riot simulator. This is developed by Anarteam and published by them in conjunction with Play It Digital. And I do apologize for my voice, and there's probably going to be segments of this video that I'm going to be muting myself completely because I'm still getting over my cold, which means fun times for recording in general. So I do apologize for that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with a quick look at the settings. Not a lot to see here, but it is a fairly simple game to begin with, and it is also running in Unity, so it's actually running extremely well in my system. Including with the tax of just recording in general. Graphics are kind of basic, but enough to get by. And inputs. Unfortunately, it doesn't show the controller inputs here, but it does show it on the pause menu. And it does suggest using a controller, which is what I'm using right now. So, what is Anarcute? Anarcute is a Pikmin style riot simulator where you're taking over various cities from a seemingly oppressive, not impressive. If they were impressive, you wouldn't be rioting. And well, that's not entirely true, but an oppressive government regime. It starts in Tokyo and it goes to Paris, and there's 2 more worlds that I have yet to unlock, but this is just a quick look, not a full review. So let's take a quick look at our customization, then we'll look at a little bit more customization, then get to some gameplay. As you may imagine from Anarcute's name, it is a cute version of a riot simulator, so no real blood and guts, but if you want to have your queue led by a group of pigeons, well, there you go. And these are all completely cosmetic, by the way. Elephants aren't tough, or foxes aren't swifter or anything. It's literally just, do you want a regime overthrown by a bunch of bunnies, raccoons, and kittens? Well, you can do so here. And it changes your mob here. Which is a nice little touch. Well, let's see. We got to get the memes in as well, so we'll have the Shiba. And the sea slug is what you get for getting all the heads in Tokyo. Basically, what happens is you find a hidden cache of a various animal, and then it adds it to your roster. So that's why we have sea slug, is because we got all of them in Tokyo. But let's take a look at the dispenser. As your mob grows in size, you get various power-ups. And you're able to choose 3 of these. Pardon there. And you get those by getting coins for completing the level. Here I chose ricochet props just because it seemed interesting, but it's not always available. It has to be, I think that's 30 riders at my mob to be able to ricochet props around. Then my second one is a Roman riot. Tapping B grants instant invincibility. It seems handy. And we have not quite enough for the last power up, which I'm thinking will be explosive bottles, because why not, right? But that requires a very large mob, so we're unlikely to see that for an extended period of time, but oh well. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do a couple levels in Tokyo, and then we'll do a couple levels in Paris that I haven't completed. You can see here I'm only a couple in. I had a failed recording because this game didn't like DX Tori. So let's just go ahead and hop into Tokyo. And these levels are very short. You can see I got an A there for less than 5 minutes, be there for about 4 minutes. So let's go ahead and take one of the later levels in Tokyo. This is a boss, which will... Good. Well, let's actually start with the boss. That way it leads into the cutscene so you can see what the art style is for the cutscenes as well. It's the ending cutscene for Tokyo, but this gives you an idea of what to expect in general for gameplay. So here's your mob, and you are able to dash around with X, punch with Y, which won't be as used here, but it does allow us to break open cages full of animals. So let's go ahead and pull back the camera a little bit. As I run around, I grab props from the environment, and I'm looking for... Well, with this boss, I do absolutely love the music in this game, by the way. It is done very well. I'm looking for a missile that didn't detonate, and there it is. So I grab that, dodge out of the way, throw that there, go over here, and start chucking things at that. And this is just rinse and repeat. I know it's probably spoiling a little bit for this boss, but I do have a bit of a problem with this game. Just that I'm afraid that it's going to be a little bit lacking on content in the long run. Just because a lot of the game's replayability is going back to these previous levels, and we'll finish this off. There we go. Fairly simple. Going back to the previous levels and basically trying to get the S rank on the time, which I'm not sure if we'll do that here. We'll see. Oh, there we go. We got S rank. Super smashing. And unfortunately no coin because we already completed it. This also shows the cutscene. No voice acting in it, so you'll just won't be able to talk it right over as the volume just completely spikes for no particular reason. And the main objective here is to, well, try to liberate various cities, but the thing is that there's really no reason to go back to the previous levels outside of just improving your overall rating. But the thing is that if you're not the type that likes going back to the previous levels to just try to improve your score, essentially, that's going to be a bit of a hard sell for you, because this is fairly short levels. I mean, you're able to see my times on these, and these aren't the best overall. I mean, the beginning tutorial level is 1:50, and that's considered a B. So these aren't terribly long levels, and it makes me worry about the, well, I shouldn't say worry, but it makes me concerned about the overall length of the game, because it is a bit out of the overall impulse buy area, at least for me. So if you're not one that likes going back to just go try to perfect your essentially almost the speedrun esque area where you're trying to be the very best at that level that you can possibly be, you know, perfect the run to the utmost degree. And I didn't really mean that to run, but it did anyway. Then you're not going to have a lot of replay on this, because, you know, it's literally just going back to get all these to unlock various customizations, because I believe one of these requires me to get S ranks in everything in Paris, or not Paris. Unlock everything in Paris. There's, oh, no, it's the gear. I must get S ratings in all levels in Tokyo and unlock whatever that is. Unfortunately, it doesn't show the texture, so I have no idea what it is. So that's oh, didn't mean to go back that far. That is a little bit of a concern on just what the overall length in the game would be. But if you don't care about that sort of thing, you know, that it makes it a little bit of a harder sale. So let's go ahead and head to Paris and do one of the higher levels. So welcome to Paris. I do love that the levels are vastly different based on where you are. It's a very nice touch, because you could have gotten away with some levels being at least somewhat alike, but Paris is completely different, and it has a completely different music set as well. Let's go ahead and talk about gameplay a little bit more, because I did mention that I had a little bit of problem with the link. I'm also having a... Oh, there's a new enemy. Let's see. Oh, that is a new mechanic I haven't ran into. The way the mob controls, you can see how it's a little floaty. And you wouldn't think that would be a big deal, but the thing is that for some levels, like, well, for example, over here where you're dealing with the laser, a previous level that I may have to go back and show you. See, hold A to aim and release to cut. Okay, so good enough. Yeah, I didn't do particularly well there, but oh. I do like that it does have that puzzle element, but where the game is a little bit floating in the controls, it could be a little bit troublesome. So you gotta be very careful with it. Like right there, that could be a bit troublesome if you're not being very careful. Okay, so there we go. Oh. Okay, there that goes. And another flag down. I am going to go over here. Oh, would be nice attack. Okay. Oh, let's see what this is. We got a new animal, muscle. I really hope that there's sheep in this, because honestly, you know, you're missing a terrible, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't have sheeple. Oh, dodge out of here. Outside of the mob being a little floaty, making some of the more puzzle elements a bit more challenging than they should, it handles fairly well. Like right here. Gotta let everyone gather up, and then I could go in. Do animal, a mink. Okay. Well, I think it's one of those things that if you spend time with it and learn how to go with it, and also you don't see a lot of these games to begin with, this Pikmin style. So it may just be, you know, hasn't really been a chance to refine this. Oh. Oh, and that's level over. And that's just me kind of dicking around. And we get a muscle. Yeah, some muscle for our riot, and a mink. And there's our coin, which will give us our last power up. So let's go ahead and do that. Spencer. Yeah, let's do the explosive bottles. So throw all those in. Yummy. We have our muscle, which doesn't fit with our cute animal theme, so we're going to leave that behind, but the main works. So I think that's been my primary concern about this game, is just overall length, because these levels are very short and there isn't a lot of them. You're able to get through a world in, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's probably a cutscene, so 6 levels per world in the 4 worlds. That's not a lot, to be perfectly honest. And yes, that does cut out these 2 side areas, which, it's probably about another 10 minutes of gameplay, let's be perfectly honest. So a lot of this is going back and playing older levels to perfect that time. So that's why I can't recommend it on the whole. But if you want something that is more Pikmin style and is really kind of odd, because that has that odd cutesy cutscene, or well, the cutscenes are kind of weird to begin with, but I didn't even realize that clicking the right stick causes that animal at the top to look around. It has that odd, overly large eyes and cutesy look. That if you want something like that, then this is actually a really good game for you. And there isn't a lot of games in this genre really to begin with. The whole ride simulator, there's actually, now that I think about it, there's really not a lot to. I'm blanking on others in this genre. So there's maybe a bit of a new one, or it's way too late, I'm not thinking of any, which is also a very real possibility. And the Pikmin style is very rare as well, so it is a unique game. It's just, I'm a little concerned that there's not a lot of meat on the bones here. But if you want something different, this is definitely different. And as a trackpad on my gamepad, I really should disable that. Or at least make it so that it doesn't revert to mouse when I'm recording. So if you want something different, this is definitely right up your alley. It's not quite in the impulse buy range. At normally $14.99, it has a 10% sale on launch, which brings it down to $13.49 for a couple days after this video is posted. Trying to think of anything else that's really major to talk about, and that's, I think, about it. If you're not into getting unlocks and perfecting times, it's going to be a bit of a short game. But if you're into that sort of thing or want something very different, then I think this is one to at least check out, or maybe pick up on a sale, which is always a real possibility for games that are just outside of that impulse buy area. And I think that wraps things up for this week. A little bit of a short one, and I do once again apologize for my voice. Still getting over a bit of a summer cold, but the show must go on, right? So as always, feedback is appreciated, even though I know any feedback for this will likely be just my voice kind of sucking. And subscribe if you wish to see more of the Sunday Sampler, which I do hopefully will have a better voice for next week. And, well, my Let's Play content, which I run 3 series on. Terraria took a bit of a break, but it should be back this week. And the podcast, which is always on Friday afternoons. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll be sampling something, well, next week. But until then, I'll see you, and thank you for watching.